Hi everyone! I really love this craft and I hope you do too. So stick with me and let's see how we all get on. Here's what we need. So this is the method with corn flour and white craft glue. So let's start measuring everything out. It's so much easier on one of these digital scales. This really is such a lovely project to do because air dry clay, polymer clay, they're all lovely things to do, but this one, actually getting to make the material yourself, is absolutely fantastic. So here we'll make the dough, the porcelain clay, and then at the end I'll show you the next video and you can watch that to see how we actually convert this into a cute little bowl and maybe some other things, so please do stay watching. So once you've got it all in the bowl, you just have to really give it a good mix. Whoops. Make sure you keep it in the bowl. Just keep it as neat as you can. Corn flour is just one of those strange things when you add in the lemon or the vinegar or any loose liquid, it just suddenly freezes up, but if you give it a good whip, it all comes together like this does. So you get it to this kind of consistency. See, one smooth consistency, just like this, and then we go to the microwave. And I tend to say if you do it 10 to 15 seconds at a time, no more. Here's me wishing we didn't have a reflective microwave. So there we go, the first 10 to 15 seconds, that was actually 12 seconds there. And every time you take it out after 10 to 15 seconds, make sure you just give it that stir up, because on the top it does tend to go slightly more cooked at the top, so we need to make sure we get the even cook through. So that was another 10 to 15 seconds. Mix it again. Pop it back in for another 15 seconds. Super quick mode there, see, can't quite see, but it is starting to cook. You can see a slight film on the top, so we make sure we stir that in and then back in again for another 15 seconds there. And can you see it's going slightly firmer, slightly. Really give it a good whip at this stage. Again, keeping with your wooden spoon. Try not to get it on anything else because it is your PVA glue in there. Okay, another 15 seconds I think. Yeah, and can you see, look, it's starting to go thick. You see how the consistency is really changing and it's cooking. So you give it a really good whip at this stage. You can do it in a pan on your oven top, but I always find I prefer to use a bowl really, because I'm not too precious over this bowl, and although we clean it up well at the end, don't use one of your best bowls. So there we go, that was the last bit of cooking, and now we just give it a really good whip while it's still warm. Don't leave it on the side at all. Make sure you do this next stage while it's still warm. So on your surface, add a little bit of the corn flour, the corn starch, and we're just going to take it out onto there and roll it out. You notice here I've got some petroleum jelly. If you use that or some hand lotion and put that on your hands to roll it, and then we're just going to give it a really good knead, as good a knead as we can. And it smells delicious at this stage. I put some watermelon drops in mine. Oh, it does smell nice. So make sure you've taken any rings or jewellery off, and we're just going to give it a nice knead till we get a really smooth teardrop consistency. So it's still quite warm at this stage. Make sure it's not too hot, but mine's just warm at this stage, and I give it a nice knead. It's really quite therapeutic, and I like doing this bit. It's nice. Get the kids involved. Anybody can do it. Just give it a good knead and make some lovely dough. I used to make this years ago, so I decided that it was about time to try again because we'd been doing so much air dry clay that I thought, let's dig out the old recipe and let's see how we get on. And here we go, trying it again. We did admittedly do a first little batch and we did a half batch to test it, but with half the ingredients and then putting it in the microwave, I think we put it in the microwave for 20 seconds, it just went solid on the top and it wasn't very good. So my son actually, he does a little experiment with that to see if he can bring it back to life, and he's done a little video about that. So he's all into science and experiments. So he's done one of those on a video. I'll put the little link in the description below. So it does take really quite a lot of kneading, really knead it well to incorporate all of that, but then you do end up with a nice smooth clay at the end. And of course we can add some colour as well, so it doesn't have to be white. If you do want it to be white, you can add your white paint at this stage if you like. You can either add white oil paint or white acrylic paint. So there we go, we're nearly there. And then once we are there, we can pop it in a piece of cling film, piece of cling wrap. Nice and tightly so there's no air inside. So wrap it nice and tight, then we're going to put it in an airtight tub, and I just put it somewhere cool to keep it. Just rest that for 12 hours, 24 hours, however much you like, and then I always make sure I take my bowl and my spoons and wash them straight away, trying to not let too much go down the sink. And so now I'm going to add some colour. We've let it rest. Here it is out of the tub. I tend to give it a bit more of a knead when we get it out of the tub again. You've got to bring it back to life, and look, it's a beautiful consistency. That's how we know it's the correct consistency. When you pull it apart, it forms a lovely teardrop effect. So that's also how you want it before it goes in the tub, in the teardrop shape. So give it another knead, and then I've actually got, here we've got some acrylic paint and some food colouring, but I'm going to use the oil colour for this one just to show you. So squirt a bit on and then we'll mix it up. And actually when this one dries, it actually dries a slightly darker colour than when you first started. So that's quite nice really, that the colour actually improves in this, whereas when you colour air dry clay, I tend to find that it actually loses a bit of the colour as it dries. And so here, just make sure you incorporate that colour really well. And I find the oil colour really lets a really good, let you really get that really good colour in without any differences. You get a really smooth colour. And again there, you've got a nice teardrop. And so there we are, we're ready to use. And then in the next video, if you take a look, you'll be able to see what I make this into. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll watch the next one, and I'll catch you again soon. Thank you, bye for now.